Thanks for tuning in and welcome to the pool party. I hope you can swim because we're definitely diving into the deep end with a huge splash of truth, facts, evidence, information, and proof. Swim. Say what you mean. It's talk about talking. How we listen, how we hear.
Well, all right. I have no idea what happened, but I guess this is what happens when you get what you get, and this is what I'm getting. So everything is brand new for me right about now. And whoa, it says no data. Oh, there's some data coming right now. And let me start some music to crank it up here. Let's see how that sounds. Oh, I can turn that down. All right, I'm testing stuff out tonight. Here's hoping you can hear me, and welcome to the swimming pool. Don't know what happened to my intro. I'm just gonna be okay with letting it roll. Anyway, welcome to the swimming pool. I am your host, Travis Bridges, and this is what we do on Wednesday evenings at 9 o'clock EST. We come to you live from wherever we may be, and we bring you truth, facts, information, and just whatever I can get with. Tasha is in the house and she says, hello. Hey, Tasha. Haven't gotten a text message yet from my tech team. So that means I must be live and I must be able to be here, be heard. And that's cool. I've got a good one for you tonight. I like to quote Steve Harvey. That's what he says. And I'm not actually copying him. It's just so happened, he didn't invent the word, I got a good one for you. He just says it. And if I had never heard him say it, I probably would be saying it and would have never known that he said it. So because I did hear him, instead of sounding like I'm copying him, I'm just saying that I'm saying it too. I've got a good one for you. And that's what we always say when we think we have a good one. Anyway, I do have a guest that's standing by, and I'm going to be really short tonight. I've been saying that, every week, and I'm going to tell you why. I am on day 74 of 75 hard. If you don't know what 75 hard is, look it up. And since December 31st, I kind of cheated a little bit. I started like 2 weeks before December 31st. And I got a little jump start on the rest of the crew. But since December 31st, when I started logging this, I've lost about 40 pounds, 39 and some change. And I'm gonna tell you why I was able to do that. It's because I've been consistent and I've been actually doing the program. And if you know me, you know I've been on a roller coaster for a long time with my fitness and my health and, my nutrition. It's been a struggle. And I'm not supposed to say that, according to one of my favorite motivational speakers, Tony Robbins. He says, when people are talking about they're going to quit smoking, he said, well, I've always been a smoker. He said, their days are numbered. But for the sake of telling the story, and it's part of my history, so I'm just going to talk about it. It's just been a roller coaster ride, and I've had more excuses as to why I haven't been able to lose weight than anybody will ever know about it. But the few times that I did discipline myself and remain consistent, I've been able to succeed. And each time I don't discipline myself and I'm not consistent, I don't succeed. So I pick it up and I put it right back down, or I put it back down and then I pick it right back up. That's relating to a bag of cookies. I'm tripping. Yeah, it's probably because I'm sleepy and tired. As I was about to say, I've been getting up very early in the morning to get a jump on, my fitness, and, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and then finally out of the bed at 5 a.m. to actually start my workout. And by 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, after I finish my day and everything I have to do and another workout, I am straight up pooped. Pooped is another word for just tired. And that's just what I am at the end of the day. So today is the same. 2 weeks ago, I was just so tired. I was in the bed talking about the sleepy edition. And now I'm kind of sort of just, being tough because I'm excited. Tomorrow's the last day. It doesn't mean I'm going to quit. I'm going to go on to phase 2, and the rest of my team, they're all saying they're not going to go on to phase 2. I guess I have to be okay with that. I'm going to be alone. Oh yeah, thank you, Tasha. She says it sounds great. I'm going to be okay with that because just before I was doing some sound checking and I could hear, my intro and all the stuff that was happening, but just before I got ready to go, I couldn't hear nothing. But I'm good now, and thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate it. Anyway, I'm going to read my description, and then I'm going to get my guest on, and we're going to talk about it. My description goes as follows. This is my makeshift teleprompter over to the left. The teleprompter is supposed to be up here, but my teleprompter is down here. So I'm going to read it. It goes a little something like this. When we know better, we should do better. Living, learning, and growing opens the door for doing better. An excuse is the most worthless gesture ever. I've had my share, and when I present one and I'm called out on it, I quickly get in line. People who hold us accountable should be appreciated and not hated. When they do get in our face and show us the mirror, I said faces there, when they get in our faces and show us the mirror, it's amazing how we will flat out deny the truth if it's not convenient or if it doesn't benefit our agenda. It happens. Let's simply do better when we know better and call a spade a spade. You black. Well, anyway, spades are black, and I was just kind of playing off of, the thing. Call a spade a spade. Then if we do that, we just sleep better, guaranteed, when we're truthful with ourselves, as well as with other people. So I wonder if it's this microphone that's tripping while I was getting that noise. Anyway, I'm going to roll on with my guest. Guest, are you there with me?
I am here with you.
Okay, how you feeling this evening?
I'm feeling pretty good. How are you? Last day, man. You're almost there.
Yeah, I am almost there. And, there's no excuse, man. I'm just human and I'm tired. And, 9 o'clock is a long time to wait, to really be pumped up. And I'm just kind of sort of trying to get set up again or reestablish in a, different location. I don't think any location is going to be permanent, with all the traveling and stuff I've got going on. So I have to really make good with wherever I am. And thank God for the opportunity to travel and do different things. I'm so grateful for that. But right now I'm in a location I'm going to hang out for a few weeks anyway. But anyway, with that being said, did I ask you how you're doing? Wow,
you did,
really,
and I said I was
really
doing
good.
well. But I love the fact that you're getting familiar with going mobile. I mean, look, this is the way the world is doing it. You need to be able to connect and be flexible with technology. So you're getting this thing down pat.
Yes. Let's see. I think that's going to be better. Okay. My tech people, Tasha, please tell me if I'm still okay. But anyway, let me tell you what's on my mind, and then you can just comment, and we're not going to be long. It's 9:08. We're going to be gone by 9:30. I mean, that's going to be like the latest time. Hopefully we can get through this quicker. I don't know if I'm getting old or older, or I've just had my share of stuff. I have a whole lot less tolerant for inconsistency, excuses, and lackadaisical, I hope I'm pronouncing that word right, attitude. And I've been accused of being straightforward, and I am. I don't mean any harm. Let my audience look into my eyes. I am really my mom's, favorite child, and I'm not a bad dude. I really am. I'm a good guy. But I just like to know. And wow, this thing is ringing really bad.
It sounds good. It's coming clear. I hear
Okay,
you.
but
I
there's
hear you
something
good.
that's bothering me though. I don't know what it is. I'll figure it out. Back to my point. You know, when you've been, I guess if I could, trace it back, because I guess if I was in therapy, the therapist would say something that would go like this. Well, what's your past been like? And then I'll say something like, well, I've been lied on, cheated, talked about, mistreated, I've been abused, gone, talked about sure as the bone. Anyway, no, my story would go, okay, yeah, I've been let down a lot. And, when people say they're going to do something and don't do it, or when they promise you something and they don't live up to it, you kind of get aggravated with that. So when you've been shocked by that, or shell shocked, so to speak, when you're interacting with people, you want them to say yes, you want them to confirm their yes, then you want an email, and then you want a text, and then you want some witnesses, so that on the time that they're supposed to deliver, when they don't, you really want to show them a rope and kick a stool out from under them. I mean, not literally, but it's like,
I hope not.
no, I'm just being a little funny here. But I try to do, I guess this part, I'm going to call it part of my love language. I try to be accountable. So, and I try to expect the same thing, but man, it doesn't happen. Anyway, I'm going to get on to my point. There's something called logic. There's something called reasoning. There's something called basic, common, whatever. I don't know. And I'm finding that our feelings and our emotions and our beliefs really are powerful when it comes to reasoning. If you're in a group, you know the term drawing straws. You know what that means, right? If there's 10 people and there's 9 straws, and whatever straw you get, can you just be okay with your straw? What is this thing about, okay, I didn't get what I want, so I'm not going to play right because I didn't get what I want. However, if I get what I want, then okay, it's cool. But then everybody else has to be okay with not getting what they want. Sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. Sometimes you just play, So I'm not sure how to deal with people I interact with that are not clear, that are not, sure, and it just gets on my nerves. And then I feel like I look like the bad guy because I'm trying to get clarity. If I call you about something and it's Monday and I don't hear from you for 2 months and I'm waiting, those seconds seem like years to me. But I'm just the opposite. If you call me, I'm pretty much on it. But anyway, help me with that. Give me your thought, and then we're going to make our deadline. I'm going to get out of here. We're going to go. I think I don't know if I've had it happen for so long. Maybe, as I said, if the therapist was here and they'll say, tell me about your past, and I would tell them about some of the disappointments. Maybe that's why, or maybe it's just, bottom line, I just might need to just find, a different set of people to hang around or to interact with. Anyway, your thoughts, please.
Wow. Well, when you can't call me to be on your show or your podcast, and then give me 15 minutes because I can go on forever. But
now, nobody even had to know that. No, listen, just roll.
Okay. People are different. They deal with things in different ways. It's very difficult for somebody to give you something they don't have. If for whatever reason they lack clarity.
Wait, hold on a second. Did you say that again? It's difficult for people to give you something that they don't have. Did I hear you say that?
That's right.
I want you to tell the tax people that, okay?
The tax people.
Yeah, next time they call you or send you a letter, you tell them that and see what happens to you.
Hey, listen,
Anyway,
I
go
hear
ahead.
you.
Make your point. As you were saying, it's very difficult, or people can't
But
give you
but
what they
yeah,
don't have.
listen, people every day are not happy with what they get, and when they're not happy with what they get, or they're not happy with the truth, of course they're gonna do whatever they can to jockey for a position, right? Like the people in the horses, you're jockeying for your worthiness, or you're jockeying for your truth or for your point of view, and people are always going to have differences of opinion, whether they're being crystal clear or not. That's another story. What the motives are, that's another story. Why you come across the way you come across, only you know that. If you don't communicate that, then people that don't know you as well as some of us, they might have an issue with the way you communicate. But that's just, that's how we roll when it comes to life.
I was just looking at myself in the monitor, and I thought about my mom for a moment. I used to like get so upset with my mom because my mom had these looks, and I remember my mom when she was younger and when she got a little up in age. She kind of sort of does what I do now. It's like you can't fix your face to please other people. If you've been beat up a little bit by life, or you've been dealing with something, it's hard to keep a straight face. And I was looking at myself in the monitor just now. It's like I need to fix my face because I might be, a little frustrated because of, what I'm telling you, and I don't know how to put on the little fake smile anymore. And I almost don't want to do it anymore. And I think it was TD Jakes who said, when men get old, they get grumpy, because they've been beat up by life so long. Finally, when they're sitting in a chair like this here, they say, I don't care what you think. After a while, you get to that point where, being yourself is just who you just really want to be. And you almost, don't want to be inconsiderate, but you don't care who it hits. If you're not throwing at somebody and they're in the way and they get hit, is it your fault? I don't know. Anyway, I'm
Yeah,
just
but
kind of going
at the
off.
same
I'm
time,
sleepy too. I feel my sleep going. You know how you get sleepy and you're a little silly,
yeah,
but I think
yeah.
I've got a little of that going on. But anyway, go ahead, go.
But that's a good thing, Travis, because you can be very very strong with your emotions and with the way you express what you believe to be truth, which many times it is the truth. I mean, you call me out on some things, and I'm like, man, you've lost your mind, but I have to do some soul searching and come to an agreement that, yeah, maybe I didn't like your delivery, but you were telling me the truth, and yes, I want to improve, so I'm gonna go ahead and embrace that and deal with it. I may not like it, but I deal with it. At the same time, if it's a situation that it affects your quality of life, then you want to learn new ways how to deliver. You want to learn new ways. Yeah, you may not care, but we do care because we want to be in relationships. We need friends. We need to connect, even network with businesses. But at the end of the day, you're right. We cannot please people. And there are many times that, I want to go to dinner and people take me to Burger King. And it's like, shit, that's definitely not what I wanted. Um, so I sometimes I tolerate what people give me because I'm making a business deal or because, this person don't have anything else to give. So I'll take the Burger King, man. It's so good. But it doesn't mean that I'm happy with it. It just means that I have to deal with it. I can't expect things from people that they cannot give me or don't want to give it to me for whatever reason.
Okay. So if let's just say if I was your friend and you wanted to give me some advice on how I'm feeling right now, I'm a little frustrated and I'm having these thoughts about things, like how do I respond now? When someone gives me an excuse, what do I do? Do I just say, yeah, okay, all right? Do I just accept an excuse, or do I bite my lip and slam my fist down on the table and scare everybody? I mean, what do you do when you expect somebody to come through and then they don't, or people are just lazy? I mean,
I like that example
sorry,
that you
people.
say, throw my fist on the table and scare people. So there are different responses, right? And one is going to keep your blood pressure low and it's not going to scare anybody. The other one is going to it's going to give you instant gratification, but it's going to have a biological reaction. and that can last for a very long time. So I'm not saying be a pushover, let people, walk all over you, but at the same time, we get to choose how we react to people. We cannot change the people. We can only change our reactions. And there are different levels of disappointment, right? There are huge different levels. If you have a gig and somebody doesn't show up and you're expecting them to bring their sound system or whatever, there are different levels. So I think depending on the level of disappointment and depending on the level of the excuse, because what may seem as an excuse to you may not seem as an excuse to that other person, you know.
Okay, I don't mean to, let me jump in real quick. When you say what seems like an excuse may not be an excuse or may not seem like an excuse to someone else, that's fine. That's where, I talk about universal principles, points of references, and then the law. Whether something seems right to me or seems, like an excuse to me or not, an excuse is an excuse. And if you examine it for an excuse, you can find whether it's an excuse or not. So when you say it may seem like to someone, what if someone seems to someone else? Where do you come to the table? That's what communication is about. If we have some kind of, if you think you have an excuse and I say it's not an excuse or vice versa, then we sit down and we say, okay, did you say you were going to pick me up at 5 o'clock? Okay, it's 10 after 5. You were late at 4:30 and you knew it. You didn't call me. Your excuse is I was on a call. Is that an excuse or not?
It is an excuse.
Okay, so then when you examine it, then you find out it's an excuse. What difference does it make if you feel it was not an excuse or not?
Well, I think it's important for people to understand your MO, how you operate, right? And it's like, hey, so if it's the first time, you can always say, hey, listen, I understand. Hold on one second, because I know I'm getting a call, and I don't want to mess up the recording. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you fine.
Okay.
Listen, I don't care if it's the first time or the 100th time. An excuse is an excuse. When you start saying, well, it's the first time, not saying you can't be lenient, okay? People need to be, given breaks. I'm not talking about that. Anyway, we're about out of time. Anyway, go ahead and close. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to sleep on it. I'm going to pray about it.
You do that. You pray about it. But listen, I think communication is, as much as it is sharing words, it's also taking opportunities for somebody to get to know your standard and your expectations. And people will always disappoint you. Life will always disappoint you. Now, out of those big disappointments, sometimes we get tremendous lessons and tremendous blessings. But I think we need to look at the level of offense so we can have a response that is, that is appropriate. And then if it happens all over again, then that is a disrespect. But I think we all have room for grace, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm going to be faithful to the time that I promised you and my audience. And I want to close with something else. We're going to switch gears and go to something else. A week or two ago, I had a guest who said, I just don't know how I'm going to lose these 50 pounds or why. I don't know why I'm not able to lose the 50 pounds. And then later on, I asked my guest, have you thrown yourself at something for at least a year and, of consistency? And then my guest said, no, they haven't. And I wanted to talk about that, and I want to just leave on that note with that being the example, not putting my guest on blast because, like you, she is my friend. But after we got off the line, I still want to get in her face and say, you ain't gonna never lose no weight if you don't stay consistent and you don't discipline yourself. To say you don't know why is, a load of, rotten onions, and I'm being nice about that. Especially now, it's like I've been on the roller coaster myself a long time, and I don't know, maybe I'm getting older or even wiser, or as Marvin Sapp would say, better. And I don't know, I'm just at that point where I realized that, okay, I can say I want to do something and then keep talking about it and then don't see any results. But if you want results for anything, you have to be consistent and you have to be disciplined, and there are no excuses in the world that are going to get you to success unless you're just lucky, and sometimes people are lucky, But with that being said, excuses are worthless, and I don't want any more excuses in my life. And people that are in my space, whether I'm in their space or in my space, they're probably not going to, maybe they will like me, because I'm going to try to spend the rest of my life. I do know better now, so I'm going to practice it, and I'm going to try to do better with everything. Am I going to be perfect? No. Hopefully there will be someone in my space, or if I'm in someone else's space, they will be able to call me on it and put me in the mirror. Oh, this ringing is just driving me nuts. I've got to fix that. Anyway, maybe I shouldn't even worry about it. Back to my point. I know better. I just want to do better. And I don't want to make any more excuses. And I just kind of want to share that with my audience and with you. The only reason.
So let me.
Go ahead.
I still don't hear the ringing, but what you said about her not being able to know why, and this is something that I really found out within myself, and it's a tough place to be. That answer takes a lot of courage. To tell somebody, I don't know why I cannot do this. If you look at that person, and I don't know that person, she may have achieved an education, a great job, a house, a car, a this, a that. So we can always excel in certain areas that have nothing to do with us. We can always go and get that master's, that PhD, if we really want it. But for me to get in touch with my body is by far the most intimate relationship that anybody can attempt to have. So whether you're talking about losing weight, whether you're talking about resolving some emotional issue, mental health issue, that is by far the hardest thing to do. And, when you come to that place where you say, man, I just don't know, there's digging to do, and life happens, and sometimes we focus on life because we don't want to focus on us. It's too painful. But I tell you what, it is the most important relationship that anybody can have. That relationship with self, connecting back to your body to the point where you can do all things, and that temple is by far the most important part of your life. But it's not easy work.
No, it's not easy. And nobody said it was going to be easy. And I'm just going to be as hard on anyone else that crosses my path as I am on myself. I've made the excuses, and I still make excuses to this day about other things. But at the end of the day, if you do the do, you'll get the goo. I'm just making up stuff.
It came out good, though. It came out good.
Yeah. If the bottom line is this, if you dig a hole, you can plant some seeds.
Yeah.
But if you don't dig a hole, regardless of why you can't, you're not going to be able to. And I'm going to go ahead and leave on that note because we've got 2 minutes. Listen, I appreciate you. I really do. I thank you so much for being there for me as many times as you are. Even those times when you're not there for me, I still appreciate you. But I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I'm going to just leave you with this. Find one thing before you close your eyes and take your last breath. Find one thing that you want to achieve. Les Brown said it when I was listening to him. He said, throw your whole self at it. I don't care what it is. But achieve a few goals that you set so that you can feel what it feels like to get that victory. Because an excuse is sad and miserable and brings on lots of other things that I won't get into because I'm not a therapist, so I won't talk about it. When you spend your whole life not knowing how to achieve certain goals, you feel that after a while and it has an effect on you. And I'm just going to leave it at that. So I'll encourage you and the rest of my audience, find something that you really want to do, put some time into it, find you a support group, and then achieve some of the goals that you set. It doesn't make sense to go on 40, 50, 60 years and still not do at least one thing that we wanted to do since we were a child. And it's going to be scary and it's going to be hard. I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning for the last 74 days, and it's been very, very, very difficult and very, very, very painful. But the reward of what I see, who knows? I just may be the same guy that I've been on the roller coaster before. I may get fat again or fatter again. But, right now I'm glad that I'm not, and I'm going to, hopefully I'll have a support group, even inside my own head that'll say, okay, keep going. But with that being said, be strong. Robin, hey, Christine, howdy, Tasha, what up, do? Good to see all of y'all. I love you so much and I miss you so much, but you're always in my heart. So till we meet again, find something you really need to do and then just stay committed to it and do it. Please. Any last closing thoughts, views, or comments before we go?
No, just that, you're showing that consistency. So we're learning. We're just learning day by day.
Awesome. My good buddy Melanie's on the phone. Not on the phone. She's in the room with me. Hey, Melanie, what's happening? Anyway, I guess I'm going to go now because I'm sleepy, and I'm going to go straight to sleep because I've got my last day tomorrow, and I'm going to celebrate. Let me tell you this before I go. I started my last 2 days, today and tomorrow, with what I'm going to do in phase 2 of 75 Hard, because I am going to go on and just, for as long as it lasts. I don't know. Life may happen to me and I may find a back door to get out of or excuse to come up with. But while I'm in, I'm going to stay in. But I'm going to add some serious push-ups. I'm going to do a minimum of 270 push-ups in 30 minutes. Like I did today. I'm going to have to really work on that. I've achieved so many goals over the past 74 days, but moving into the next phase, I'm going to work on, I think they're called calisthenics, whatever it's called when you don't use weights. So I'm going to do that. That's going to be my goal, and I'm looking forward to the results. And anyway, thank you again. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Have yourself a fantabulous evening, and I love you, okay?
I love you too, Travis. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Well, there you have it, my friends. Another edition of the Swimming Pool. SWIM, SWYM. That is the acronym for Say What You Mean. Don't only say what you mean, but do what you say you gonna do. You feel better at night and you almost get a bad attitude. You don't care what someone thinks when you're rock solid. They can think what they want to think. But one thing is this, they can depend on you and they can rely on you. And I'm going to go ahead and let all y'all go. Robin, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm going to call you tomorrow and just catch up. I don't know what else to say. I'm good, though. I'm all right. God is good. Yes, anyway, I'm going to let y'all go. Have a good night. I love you so much. Till the next time, take good care of yourself, okay? Bye.
SWYM.